Hey guys, Rachele here with Amethyst Ascension. If you are new here, welcome, and if you are returning, thank you so much for joining me again. So today I am going to be doing a hashtag. This one is 54321 Tarot. This was started by Kelly Bear. I have watched several people, and I've still got tons more to watch because so many people release their videos all around the same time. So, but I thought this was fabulous. I think it's a great idea. And so let's just get started. So my 5 decks that I chose to show were decks for beginners that have keywords on them. So here is one. I don't think I've even worked with this one yet. And I have another one, an Angel Tarot, but I figured this would do. I was chatting it up with Summer from Amethyst Ascension and just trying to pick 5. I wasn't even sure if I had 5 decks that had keywords on them. But I think these are, no, they're not still in order. Okay. So for the Dreamer, which is the Fool, and you start, trust yourself, push your fears aside, and take a leap of faith. The High Priestess, meditate and turn inward to discover your soul's true desire. This is not the time for action. Develop your intuitive gifts and trust the wisdom that you receive. So you get the idea. I'm just going to show you some of these. I think it's so pretty. And I think it's a wonderful deck for beginners to just kind of be able to read and use the images. Maybe use the images first, and then if they're not sure on the images, then read. But just like a fallback, you know? I feel like the more that you do something, the repetition, the more you become confident, the more you become a tarot reader. So having decks like this, so that you don't have to keep on going back into the book and stuff like that, it can make it easier on somebody. So isn't this pretty? Yes. So Angel Wisdom Tarot, that's one of them. I just set that aside. So another one is the Wandering Star Tarot by Kat Pierce. These are really cool because they're not as obvious. You can see the keywords around it. Like shadow, dreams, intuition, shadow, dreams, intuition. So just little keywords to trigger your memory. Or to just trigger your intuition and let it go from there. If you're a little uncertain or you have imposter syndrome, having a deck like this can really help facilitate more confidence because you feel safe enough in order to use it more, you know? When I was learning tarot, I had cheat sheets. There is no shame in my game. I used cheat sheets. And then it became, because I had cheat sheets, I felt comfortable enough to start doing more readings, even online readings for you guys. And before I knew it, I didn't even have to look at them anymore because it just sparked that confidence in me. It sparked that memory of them too. The more I used it, the more I retained. So that is the Wandering Star. So that's deck 2. The third one is the 5-cent tarot. It's a really cool box too. Ask the cards, 5-cent tarot. These also have all the keywords on them for both sides, which is really cool because I am not fluent in reversals. So having a deck like this that has the upright and the reversal can be really, really cool. And this one looks really cool. This is like a curiosities cabinet, kind of. Like Victorian times, you know. It's just like really cool looking to me. So that is the 5-cent tarot. And this is by, let's see if it, Madame Clara, a message from Madame Clara. So there you go. So that's deck number 3. Sorry, just want to clear these off. And then my 4th deck is the Lucid Dreams Beginner's Tarot with keywords. I've seen that this is now in black, and damn it, I want it. Because this is not as easy to see, which is nice. But at the same time, the black is so beautiful too. I love that it's got the elemental and astrological associations on these cards, and it's got the upright and reversed keywords, which I think is just fantastic. So this can help you with like the astrology that's associated with each of these, the elements, if you didn't know them already, and the upright and the reversed meanings of all of the cards right there at your fingerprint, or at your fingertips. So that is the Saint Soleil Lucid Dreams Beginner's Tarot. Those are the backs. Really pretty. And the last one that I got. This is Intuit. This was a Kickstarter. I think these are really cool. And these also have the upright and reverse. With the astrological associations on there as well. So if you're doing quick readings for people, this can be a great deck. Live readings, especially if you're not fluid in like reversals as well, or you're just a brand new reader, this can help you with that imposter syndrome. You know, sometimes I feel like people can know the meanings, and when they're reading just like slowly for themselves, they know the meanings, right? And they know what it means to them in general when they're looking at it. But then when they get up, especially in the beginning, when they get up and they're doing readings for other people, they can feel like they're on the spot. It's like somebody that is like a terrible tester. It's not that they don't know the information, it's just anxiety will take hold of them, you know, and then it's like their mind goes blank. So in situations like that, a deck like this can be very, very beneficial. Especially when you're learning, right? And it's really cool looking. And these are the backs. Oh, those are the backs. I don't really care for the Intuit on there, but it is what it is. So those are my 5 decks for beginners that have keywords. And you don't even have to be beginner. I shouldn't say that. Somebody that just wants that extra, you know, comfort, that extra, like, security blanket. Or somebody that's just now learning the astrology that's associated with it. A deck like this with the astrological on there is beneficial. And somebody that's just learning how to start incorporating reversals. Because in my opinion, I wouldn't start off learning. This is just my opinion. I wouldn't start off learning with reversals. I would, you know, just like everything else, learn the basics and then advance yourself as you go. But that's just that's what worked for me. So those are my 5 decks. The 4 books that I want to show, I have a lot more books that I've really enjoyed, but I'm trying to stay within the rules. I have been known to be a rule breaker, but I'm going to try not to be a rule breaker. So the Tarot Activity book by Andy Matzner, now Drea Bloom, but I think that this is only available under Andy Matzner. This book is so friggin' cool. It's got tons of different activities that you can do. Obviously, it's just like what it says, the Tarot Activity book. This has also got the haiku in there that I fell in love with, the tarot haikus. But there's lots of things that you can do and ideas in this book that can help you also when you're a beginner to learn like different ways of bonding with your deck and fun activities. I mean, you could have a game night with tarot. How friggin' fun is that? Imagine, you know, even possibly getting other people that are completely new to tarot having fun with something like this, like one of the games that they have in here. So another book is the Ancestral Tarot, Uncover Your Past and Chart Your Future. There are just, I've tabbed this, there are tons and tons of spreads in here for ancestor work, and tons of ideas and card associations, and even like past life reading stuff, DNA stuff. It's just really good. So this one, and I'm still working through it. So this is a book that I would highly recommend. Ancestral Tarot, Uncover Your Past and Chart Your Future, Nancy Hendrickson. Forward by Teresa Reed, the Tarot Lady. The Tarot Lady. Fabulous. And then another one, because I love spreads. This was the first spread book that I had, other than what I've made for myself. And I've showed those on previous videos. But this is by Sasha Graham. It's 365 tarot spreads. So essentially, this is 365 days in a year. So every day, she has a really cool association. What is today? Is today the 21st? So let's see what today's is. Mabon Delicate Balance Spread. There you have it. Even though Mabon this year is on the 23rd, a lot of times it's on the 21st. So, or it starts on the 21st and runs through like the 29th or 28th, something like that. So, what do I take from the earth? What do I give back? How can I honor it? What do I take from my relationship? What do I give back? How can I honor us? Oh, what do I take from myself? What do I give back? And how can I honor it? Wow, that is a fabulous spread. I think I need to do that. So, I love, and there's more. Like, there's another one that I want to be doing here pretty soon. No, not the qualities. Oh, I did this one, but there was another one. It was a Star Wars one that I want to do. Oh, there's a UFO spread. Houdini's transformation spread. I mean, the stories that are in this. If you are brand new to tarot or even seasoned in tarot and you just want to change things up a little bit, a book like this is really fun because sometimes we're thinking of ways to use our deck. Like, I don't need a reading again. I'm already taking care of that, or I just had a reading. So you don't know how to, what to do a reading on. Some of these spreads are just so friggin' fun. Like Lady Godiva spread. Setting Boundaries spread, right? John Dee's horoscope spread. Wisdom of Thoth spread, moving spread, root of the problem spread. There's a Lovecraft spread in here. There's a Marie Laveau spread in here. Triple Goddess spread. Jungian Archetype Personality spread. There's just a plethora of really cool, fun, not your everyday, no pun intended, kind of spreads. They're really cool. So that's another one. And then this one I find just absolutely invaluable. This is another one by Andy Matzner, now, formerly Andy Matzner, now Drea Bloom. And I believe that there are other books that are now smaller that are journaling the tarot, but like focusing on like a suit of them and then like the majors. This is all of them. This book is the whole kit and caboodle. And it's just fabulous. So if we were to find, like, I believe we are still for a couple more days in the third decan of Virgo, which is the 10 of Pentacles, I believe. So let's find that and just show you. Almost there. 9 of Pentacles. This is fabulous for journaling and for creating spreads and all kinds of stuff. So questions that you could ask yourself are, what was an unfulfilled dream that your father had? Your mother? How have those aspects of your parents' lives had an impact on you? What family tradition is it time for you to end? Why? How will you do so? Just stuff like that. But there is literally several pages. There's roughly like 50 or 60. So this one has like 62 questions for the 10 of Pentacles that you can ask yourself or make spreads around. And yeah, so journaling the tarot evolutions. Like I said, there are smaller books by Drea Bloom, might be under Andy Matzner on Amazon, where it's just like either the major arcana, so it's not quite as hefty and big as this one is. But if you want all of them, and I highly recommend getting all of them, this is the book. So those were the 4 books. Spreads. So as much as I love spreads, I don't use any spreads consistently other than, oh, let me grab this out really quick. Let me just, all right, let me see here. Let me, there we go. Sorry, bear with me. All right, so I do a 3-card spread for every, oh, let me move this, for every moon phase. Apparently I hadn't wrote it down yet. Okay, so I have a couple, but not this one. So, how I need to embrace this energy, what I need to release right now, and advice from Grandmother Moon. This was on the first quarter moon on September 6th. That was in Taurus in my 5th house. So I take that all into consideration with my spread. So Taurus being that earthy, fixed sign that is ruled by Venus, that all goes into the makeup of that 3 cards. Time to finish and release. So the phase also goes into consideration. And then, of course, I draw a card for each one of those. So how I need to embrace this energy, what I need to release right now, and advice from Grandmother Moon. And they're all like that. But they're all different because of where it falls. So this one was, what, the dark moon? Yep. Was in Leo, actually on the cusp of Virgo. and in my 5th house of fun and self-expression. So, and then the new moon. It's always the same 3, but with that into consideration. So the moon was actually in Virgo, just 3 degrees for the new moon. So new beginnings and possibilities in my 1st house of self in Virgo, which could be health, and I just happen to be having a infection in my tooth right now, which is causing issues in my ear and my jaw and all that. So, yeah, that's about right. On the new moon, and that's when I started getting it. I'm just finishing up my antibiotics today, actually. So, that is one of the spreads. And other than that, I don't have any other spreads that I do on a, regular basis. They're not my most used spreads because the most used spreads are always different every month. Other than my moon one, they're always different. For the deacons, I create different spreads for that. For the monthly medicine that I do, there's always different spreads for those each week, each month. So different themes. So other than that, I just, where is it? Let's see. So what are like cool spreads? I really like this one, the Jungian Archetype Personality Spread. Ego Projection Spread. This is, see, the Lovecraftian Horror Spread. Marie Laveau. I just made artwork for them and put them in this book because I liked them a lot. They're not ones that I do often, though. This one, I could see doing this more often. The frequency, to see where my frequency is. Like checking up on that. But, so there you go. I mean, I can't really show you 3 spreads because I don't use consistently 3 spreads. All right. So, 2 tarot habits or paraphernalia. I like these mats. I got my first mat. Instead of, I see cloths and stuff that people, and I got quite a few cloths, but I didn't like them because they always needed to be ironed because I don't like the wrinkles. I don't like, I guess, hanging them because I've seen somebody hanging them. That's a good, I think Meg showed that. That's a good idea, hanging them on a hanger. But I like the mats because they're so forgivable. So I got my first mat like almost a year ago. It'll be a year next month was when I got my first one. And I have, one second, let me show you some of them. Here is another mat because my desk, which is kind of crammed right now. I mean, it always is because I have a lot of stuff, but I'm definitely a maximalist. But here's another one that I had. This is one I bought like 6 months ago or so. Here is another one over on this side. I have one on my desk upstairs in the shared office with my hubby. And I also have one down in my sewing area. And then, of course, you've seen this one. So mats, and probably the other thing would be like, crystals. I mean, I love my crystals, I love being surrounded by them. I feel like they keep energy, And here's Janice. I gotta clean off. She's got wax on her. And here is Mithras. You can see there's a big difference in size here. Ooh, she is heavy. Janice is large and in charge. I love her. So, oops. So those are my 2 paraphernalia. Okay, and the last one is either one advice or card that I wish to embody. And I chose the card that I wish to embody. Many of you might know this already. And that's always the Fool. I look at the Fool like the Fool is that traveler that goes through the entire cycles of life, through all the archetypes. So when I embody the Fool, I embody every card of the tarot because I am that traveler, the ultimate experiencer. But I always want to be that person that has a thirst and enthusiasm and passion to live and learn and grow and, you know, take risks sometimes. And that is if I ever leave my house and my witchy room. But that is willing to take risks and always try to aim to be innocent of, not innocent, I mean kind of innocent, but have baby eyes, taking baby steps sometimes, so that I don't become jaded by all the negative things in life that can, you know, be sent our way. So I want to embody that Fool that's always enthusiastic and ready to experience the next thing, even if that means heartbreak, even if, you know, life itself, love itself, it's all bittersweet. So, yeah. So the last bonus thing was to tag people. And to be honest with you, I have seen so many people being tagged in this already. So I'm not going to tag anybody anyways, because I don't like people to feel pressured, you know, in order to do it. But I will say this, if you are watching this video and you've not been tagged and you haven't done it yet, then you've been marked. So go do it. Go do this, because this is super fun. So this was a great idea, Kelly Bear. I'm going to be putting a link to her original video down below in the description. So please go and check that out. And thank you for spending this time with me. And I am sending you love always.